Welcome to Unit 8 Sleeves. This unit comprises of 3 modules: Introduction, Set-in sleeves and sleeve bodies combinations, and the final review sections that invites you to reflect on what you have learned. Describe the 2 basic sleeve classifications, identify the parts of the basic sleeve, walk the sleeve along the armhole to mark the location of the notch to equalize cap ease, apply the procedure to reduce or increase the bicep. Apply the procedure to reduce or increase the cap height. Identify when the sleeve is in need of rotation. Explain the relation between the center sleeve, grain and the stance of the figure. Identify the fitting problem when the cap ease is insufficient or excessive. Modify an armhole to decrease cap ease for a flat sleeve. Explain the need of the armhole ease for developing combination patterns. Develop various set-in sleeve pattern. Develop a raglan sleeve pattern. Develop all-in-one kimono pattern. Let's see the introduction. Sleeves are functional but decorative parts of a garment that cover and encircle the arm. It plays a major role in the garment silhouette. It may be extreme broad shoulder style to natural tubular form. Sleeve can be developed in various lengths including cap, short, elbow, 3/4, 7/8 and long. It can be developed in various fitting like puff, bell, gather, tailor sleeve, etc. The normal position of the arm is slightly forward below the elbow, so elbow dot is required at the back part to make the sleeve fit to the body. Number of elbow dots may be 1, 2 or 3. More number of dots will give tight fit. There are 2 basic types of sleeve. One is set-in sleeve, another is sleeve body combination. Set-in sleeve has separate armhole which is attached to the body armhole. It is more common and found in shirt, blouse, jackets, etc. Raglan and kimono sleeves are example of sleeve body combination style. Shoulder pad. If the design include shoulder pad, then thickness of the shoulder pad should be considered. Measure the shoulder pad thickness and modify the shoulder line and sleeve cap accordingly. Armhole. The curved top seam line of the sleeve. Notches are used along the line for matching. Cap height is the vertical measurement taken from the bicep line to top of the sleeve. Bicep level is the widest part of the sleeve and it is separate the cap and bottom of the sleeve. Cap ease is the additional allowance given to the sleeve cap to get proper fit at the top of the sleeve. It ranges from half an inch for the flat garment to 2 inch for the coats and jackets. Elbow level is the horizontal line marked on the elbow of the arm. It is used as a reference line for the design development. Wrist level is the bottom, that is hem of the long sleeve pattern. It is the wrist position of the arm. Elbow dot that shape the sleeve to fit the natural bend in the arm and allow the arm movement. They are located on the back underarm seam. Grain line is a line that is perpendicular to the cap line and extend the length of the sleeve. One notch on the sleeve armhole is indicating front sleeve and 2 notches indicate the back sleeve. It is very important to mark the notches as instructed to avoid the confusion while sewing. One notch marked on the center of the sleeve. Notches are used to control the cap ease and for the proper fit. This module comprises of 5 topics. There are basic set-in sleeve, cuffs and plackets, added fullness, cap variations and two-piece sleeve. All set-in sleeves are eased, gathered or tucked and sewn into the body's arm side seam. But it can be developed with variety of design modification, including changes in the sleeve length, amount of fullness and cap height and hem finishes. Fullness generally is added by spreading to create triangle additions by slashing and spreading method. Fullness at the top is controlled by sewing with armhole. However, bottom fullness is controlled by cuff, band or elastic casing or let free to fall. Changes in the cap height results in sleeve that relate differently to the body. The sleeves stand away if the sleeve cap is shortened. If the cap height increased, the normal procedure for the sleeve extend above the normal shoulder line. Sleeve hem finishes may be developed with various design including cuff, band, braid, ruffle, extended fitting facing or fitted facing. This module comprises 5 topics: basic set-in sleeve, cuffs and placket, added fullness, cape variation, two-piece sleeve. The first topic is basic set-in sleeve. We will now look at the design analysis of basic sleeve, 3/4 sleeve, straight sleeve, roll-up sleeve and shirt sleeve. This video shows the basic sleeve. It is not straight, it is little bit bent at the elbow as per sleeve shape. This video shows 3/4 sleeve. This is made from the basic sleeve. Length of the sleeve is reduced to 3/4 to get this design. It has a elbow dot same as basic sleeve so that it will give the arm shape. Let's see how to make this pattern. This video shows straight sleeve. In this there is no elbow dot and you can check the bottom also. Sleeve bottom is more wider than the basic sleeve. Let's see how to make this pattern using basic sleeve. This video shows roll up sleeve. You can see in this video the bottom of the sleeve is rolled on top. No stitching is visible. So you can see there is inner stitch and fold again over the stitch. So the fold should cover the stitch at least half an inch extra than the stitch. Let's see how to make this pattern. This video shows the shirt sleeve. Normally shirt sleeve has pleats. In this style there are 2 pleats and you have a sleeve placket. It will be attached with a cuff. The elbow dot has been removed. Instead of that, the pleat has been given from the bottom. So it will add the fullness for the elbow movement. We will now look at the overview of 3/4 sleeve. Use your basic sleeve pattern. To create 3/4 sleeve, draw 4-inch parallel lines from the bottom of the sleeve as shown. Cut the pattern. Use only top of the sleeve to make 3/4 sleeve. We will now look at the overview of straight sleeve. To create straight sleeve, use basic sleeve pattern. Draw vertical line from the bicep as shown. Join the side by horizontal line. Trace highlighted pattern. Straight sleeve pattern completed. We will now look at the overview of roll-up sleeve. Make roll-up sleeve, use straight sleeve pattern, decide sleeve length. In this example, it is 5 inches below bicep line. Decide cuff length. In this example, it is 2 inches. Draw 2 inches parallel lines below fold line, as shown. Draw another parallel line half an inch less than the cuff length. In this example, cuff length is 2 inches. So 2 inches minus half an inch equal to 1.5 inch. Cut the pattern as shown. Label the pattern. Add notches. Roll up sleeve pattern draft completed. We will now look at the overview of shirt sleeve. Make shirt sleeve, use straight sleeve pattern. A to B equal to 3/4 of an inch. C to D is 3/4 of an inch. Reduce the sleeve length 1.5 inch for cuff and mark E and F. Mark G on the center line. H is mid of E to G. H to I is half an inch to 3/4 of an inch. Draw sleeve bottom line as shown. Trace shirt sleeve pattern as highlighted. I to J 3 inches for sleeve placket opening. I to K equal to quarter inch and I to L equal to quarter inch for the placket attachment. L to M is inches for the pleat position. M to N equal to 1.5 inch for the first pleat. N to O 3/4 of an inch for the pleat distance. O to P 1/4 of an inch pleat width. Draw pleat direction. Label the pattern. Shirt sleeve pattern completed. Satin sleeve. To make 3/4 sleeve, use basic sleeve. Secure the pattern using the pins. Draw the outline including notches. bicep line, elbow line and elbow dot. Once you completed all the marking, remove the pattern. Draw the elbow line. Bicep line. Underarm. Now you decide the length of 3/4 sleeve you required. You can take around 4 inches from the bottom. So in this example, I am going to take 4 inches from the bottom. Mark parallel lines, 4 inches from bottom of the sleeve. Draw a smooth line. Then cut the pattern in the line. This will give you 3/4 sleeve. Cut 2, mark grind line parallel to center line. Transfer notches. Now you made 3/4 sleeve. Straight sleeve. To make a straight sleeve, use basic sleeve pattern. Trace the pattern with all necessary marks and notches. Now make a straight line from the sleeve. Draw a parallel line to the center of the sleeve from the armpit. Draw the other side also. Measure the distance, both top and bottom equally. Make a horizontal line from the bottom of the sleeve. To the next end. Make sure that you are marking all the notches and lines. remove the pattern. The red color line shows straight sleeve. Draw the center line, mark notches. Label the pattern. Cut 2. Grind line should be marked parallel to the center line, and all the notches should be marked. Extend the elbow line. So we completed the straight sleeve pattern. Roll up sleeve. To make roll up sleeve, you can use straight sleeve pattern. Decide your sleeve length and cuff height. In this demo, I am going to use 5 inches below the bicep line as my sleeve length and 2 inches cuff length. So trace the pattern, your sleeve cap and full. Mark the notches, mark the bicep line. Draw a center line. I am going to make 5 inches below the armpit level. Mark 5 inches below. 5 inches below. Draw a line. You may draw with the dotted line, dash lines, because this is not a fold line. Just decide your cuff height. Here I am taking 2 inch as my cuff height. Mark 2 inches. Again draw the cuff height, because the sleeve will fold on the top. Draw the dotted lines. Then mark 1.5 inch. Then cut the line. Mark notches on the fold line. This will create a cuff. Label. Cut 2. Draw a grain line parallel to center line. So now we completed roll up sleeve from the straight sleeve. Shirt sleeve. To make a shirt sleeve, use straight sleeve pattern. Trace the outline and mark the notches, bicep line, elbow line, center line, etc. Mark A, bottom of the sleeve. Mark 3/4 inch inside. Label B. Similarly, mark C at the bottom. Mark 3/4 inch inside. Label D. Connect B to armpit. The other side D to bicep line. Shirt sleeve normally have a cuff. Decide your cuff and accordingly you have to reduce the sleeve length. Now I am going to make 2 inches cuff. For 2 inches cuff, you reduce sleeve length 1.5 inch. The 1/2 inch extra is required for blousing. So mark 1.5 inch. Draw the straight line. Label E, G, F. Divide E to G and mark the midpoint. And mark H. From H, square down 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch for the wrist and label I. Draw the smooth line from E to I to F. This will create bottom of the sleeve. Trace the pattern. Now we have to mark sleeve opening. Sleeve opening normally you can give 3 inches. Draw the straight line. And label J. This is for placket opening. I am using 3 inches here. Then for attach, mark 1/4 inch both the side. Label K and L. This is for making small placket and bigger placket, both the side 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch. Then we need to make pleats. Normally 2 pleats will be there. The distance to the first pleat from L is 1 inches. So mark 1 inches from L. And label M. Then mark the pleat width, pleat intake, marking 1.5 inch. Then label N. Then decide your pleat distance from first pleat to second pleat. I am giving 3/4 of an inch. Then label O. Then mark the second pleat, marking here 1/4 inch. Draw the line, mark the pleat direction. Label draw the grind line, then cut the pattern. mark notches, armhole notches, and pleat notches, placket opening notches, and complete the shirt pattern. You can add the seam allowance to complete the shirt sleeve pattern. This video shows the fitting of basic sleeve. The sleeve is attached on the body armhole. There is a definite armhole in this style. In the back there is an elbow dot, so it gives the sleeve shape. You can see the elbow dot here. Close the elbow dot and attach the under seam, then attach with the body to get a set-in sleeve. This video shows the stitching and fitting of 3/4 sleeve. Join the sleeve with the body armhole. Close the elbow dot. Attach the underarm seam, which will give you this 3/4 sleeve. This video shows the stitching and fitting of straight sleeve. You can see it, the sleeve is attached to the body armhole and underarm is stitched together, which will give you straight sleeve. And the sleeve is straight, there is no elbow dot in it. Here you can view your arm position and the sleeve. Arm has bend at the elbow, but sleeve is straight. This video shows how to stitch roll up sleeve. First you have to fold and stitch the hem as shown. Stitching should be like this. If the roll up is fold the sleeve on fold line and do a stitch. Stitching will be on top. Then you have to fold again. Just you need to fold the thing. The outer fold should be at least half an inch extra than the inner fold, so that the stitch won't visible outside. This video shows stitching and fitting of shirt sleeve. Shirt sleeve has pleats and sleeve plackets along with cuff at the bottom. In this style there are two pleats above the cuff and there is a sleeve placket for the opening. Cuff make the sleeve bottom narrower and pleat give ease for the elbow movement. Then cuff is closed by buttonhole, and you can see the bottom is narrower compared to other sleeves. This video shows the comparison between a basic sleeve and 3/4 sleeve. You can see that there is no changes in the fitting, only length is reduced in the 3/4, everything else same. This video shows the comparison between basic sleeve and straight sleeve. Basic sleeve, since it has an elbow dot
it gives the shape of the sleeve. But straight sleeve, it is straight from top to bottom. Basic sleeve has a narrow width and the straight sleeve has wider width. This video shows the comparison between basic sleeve and roll-up sleeve. Roll-up sleeve shorter in length and bottom of the sleeve is little more wider than the basic sleeve, and armhole area fitting is same. This video shows comparison between basic sleeve and shirt sleeve. Basic sleeve you have a dot and it has a shape of the arm. Shirt sleeve is straight but it has a pleat to give additional fullness for the elbow, and cuff make it narrower bottom. And in the shirt sleeve you can find sleeve placket and cuff is closed by buttonhole. The second topic is cuffs and plackets.
Sleeve cuffs are developed in variety of design. The style include square, notch, round and so on. The most common are shirt cuff, French cuff, roll-up cuff and contour cuff. Normally, cuff grind line will be marked in lengthwise, but it can be marked widthwise or bias if design requires.
We will now look at the design analysis of straight cuff, notch cuff, round cuff and roll-up cuff. This design shows straight cuff. Normally cuff cut on cross grind line to increase the stability, and the corners are straight. This is most widely used in shirt. This design shows the notch cuff. The bottom of the cuff has cut away and it will form a notch shape, and you have a buttonhole and you have sleeve placket, pleats. Other constructions are similar to straight cuff. Let's see how to make this pattern. This design shows the round cuff. Corner of the cuff is round. This is also most widely used in shirt cuff. Normally the grind line will be in horizontal, that is cross grind line. This is mostly come with a sleeve placket and pleats. Let's see how to make this pattern. This video shows roll-up cuff. You can see that the length of the cuff is double than the required length. It is so long. Then once you stitch the cuff was folded such a way that it covers the seam of the cuff. We will now view the overview of one-piece cuff. To make one-piece cuff, decide the cuff length and width. In this example, cuff length equal to 9 inches and width equal to 2 inches. Draw horizontal line for cuff length. Draw a vertical line for 2 times cuff height. In this example, cuff height is 2 inches. So draw 4-inch vertical line. Make rectangle pattern as shown. Draw fold line in the middle. Draw button line 5/8 of an inch inside. draw button and buttonhole, add notches on the fold line, label the pattern. One piece cuff pattern draft completed. We will now view the overview of two-piece cuff. Make two-piece cuff pattern. Decide the cuff width and cuff height. Draw a vertical line. Draw half of cuff width. In this example, cuff width is 9 inches. So draw 4.5 inch. Draw a vertical line for cuff height. In this example, it is 2 inches. Complete the rectangle as shown. Trace the pattern as highlighted. Mirror the pattern. Add grain line, notches, and complete the pattern. Two-piece cuff pattern draft completed. The cuff corners are square in this pattern. It may be changed according to the design. Change the corners to round shape to get the round cuff. Corner may be changed as notch shape as shown. We will now view the overview of French cuff. To create French cuff, decide the cuff length and width. In this example, cuff length is 9 inches. Draw a rectangle with cuff length and height should be 4 inches. Label A and B. C is the mid of A and B. C to D equal to quarter inch. Draw horizontal fold line from D as shown. Mirror the pattern. Draw button line 1 inch inside. Mark buttonholes as shown. Let us now move on to the view plackets, beginning by looking at the continuous bound placket. To create continuous bound placket, draw a rectangle. Length of the rectangle is placket opening length into 2 and width of the rectangle is 1 inches. Add notches and complete the pattern. Let us now look at the shirt sleeve placket. To create shirt sleeve placket, draw a rectangle. The width of the rectangle is half an inch and height of the rectangle is slit opening. In this example, it is 3 inches. Draw required design on top of the rectangle. It may be rectangle or doghouse shape. Extend the placket. The width should be placket width plus 1/16 inches. Complete the pattern.
Cuffs and plackets. Now we are going to see how to make one piece cuff. So before making that, decide your cuff length and cuff width. Here I am going to make 9 inches cuff length, 2 inches cuff width. Draw a perpendicular line. Length keep your cuff length. I am keeping 9 inches here. Since it's a one piece cuff, it will fold back, so double the cuff width, so 4 inches, and draw a line. This is equal to cuff length, this is cuff width multiplied by 2. Draw a midpoint. This is the cuff fold line. Then from the edge, mark 5 by 8 inch. On both the sides. This is the button line. Mark button and buttonhole in the middle. One eighth. Draw the grind line parallel to the fold line. Then cut 2 and mark the notch on the fold line. So now we completed one piece cuff. Let's see how to make two piece cuff. For this, two piece cuff. To make two piece cuff, take a small piece of paper, fold it into half, because we are going to give some design in the cuff. Both sides should be equal, so it's always better you take unfold. Draw a perpendicular line. Mark your cuff width. So I am marking 4.5 inch my cuff width. Then mark the cuff height. Mark cuff height. Here I am giving 2 inches and make a square down the line. So this will make a square corner cuff. Cut the pattern. This will give you square corner. You can make a hexagon or notch corner. So I am marking 3/4 of an inch on both the sides. Fold the pattern and cut. So this will make a notch shape. This is a notch corner. You can make round shape also if required. Now we are going to make French cuff. So decide your cuff length and cuff height. Make a perpendicular lines. Mark cuff length, I am taking 9 inches. And label A. A to B, your cuff height into 2. French cuff, the upper portion should be at least half an inch more than the lower portion. This is to cover the cuff attaching seam. So if you want 2-inch inner cuff, outer cuff should be 2.5 inch. So I am marking inner cuff 2 inch, outer cuff 2.5, so total 4.5 inch. Then make a rectangle, label B. Mark C, midpoint between A to B. D is 1/4 inch above the C. Square across from D. Draw the cuff fold line. This is goes for inner, this is visible outside. So outer cuff will be half an inch more than the inner cuff. Mirror the pattern. So mark the same measurement, 4.5, 4.5. Then mark 1 inch inside for the button line. Mark buttonhole 3/8 or middle, up and down from the same distance from the fold line. You may see there is a bigger gap here, smaller gap here, but from fold line to this mark and fold line to the bottom buttonhole mark should be equal. Draw the buttonhole mark 1/8 inch. Then label it. Grind line parallel to the fold line. Cut the pattern which will produce French cuff. Now we are going to see how to make placket. If you want to make continuous bound placket, so placket length you decide. So sleeve opening is 3 inches in our sleeve pattern. Then make a vertical horizontal line. Line length should be equal to double the placket length. For 3 inches, you mark 6 inches. Width of the placket should be 1 inches because we are going to fold 4 times, so which will produce 1/4 inch placket width. Make a rectangle. This is sleeve, placket, opening, multiply by 2, width is 1 inches. Draw the grind line horizontally, then cut 2 pieces. If you want to make a shirt placket, first draw the horizontal line, decide your placket width, I am marking 1 inch placket. Draw a parallel line. Mark your sleeve placket opening length. So in my case it is 3 inches. Draw a line. Then decide your top sleeve placket shape. It can be square, it can be doghouse shape. If you want square shape, decide your style and make a square shape. If you want doghouse, mark the midpoint, maybe reduced 3/8 of an inch, then make a doghouse shape. Then bottom, mark 1/8 extra than the placket width, 1/16 to 1/8 extra than the placket width. So I am marking 1/16 extra. Extend the bottom line. Extend the placket line and add 1/16 extra here for the stitch line. Draw the grind line, then label. Then add the seam allowance all over to complete the pattern.
This video shows the fitting of the cuff. If you have a pleat, first close the pleats, then make a sleeve placket, then attach the cuff to the bottom of the sleeve. It start from the sleeve placket and go round, and the cuff is closed by normally button and buttonhole. There will be a 1 inch overlap in the cuff to make the button and buttonhole. This video shows the stitching of notch cuff. It is similar to straight cuff. Make the pleats, attach the sleeve placket and attach the cuff and close the cuff with button and buttonhole. Only the shape changes, balance everything similar to straight cuff. This video shows the fitting of round cuff. This is also similar to straight cuff. First pleats are made, sleeve plackets are attached, then cuff attached to the bottom of the sleeve. Cuff is closed by buttonhole, and grain line of the cuff normally in horizontal direction, that is cross grain line. So you can see that the outer fold should be bigger than the inner fold, so that it will cover the seam. So if you stitch together, you will get roll up cuff. So cuff length double plus half an inch. So that little extra has to come up and cover the stitches.